lecturer today is Andrew Lindsay. He is here from Scotland. I told him to speak slow so you can understand him. So he will do his best. He will do his best. He's a teacher and a medium. I think you are a healer too. And he has been traveling, working, demonstrating spirit throughout the world. So I'd like to bring up Andrew Lindsay.
We are. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
And, yes, as you heard there, I do speak a little bit quick. Okay? But when I go over to mainland Europe, it's fine because I have an interpreter. So I just talk normal and some fella dictates into German. So anyway, we're not doing that today, so I will try and speak slowly. Either that or Lewis will need to try and interpret it. Okay. I got off the plane and I spoke to Lewis when he picked me up from the airport, and I could see in his face, he was like, oh my God. The last time I was here, I was in Canada for a while, so I did kind of slow down. But anyway, I want to just bring in a few things I want to talk about. You know, it is a pleasure to serve spirit all over the world, okay? And the only thing I do have to do is slow down, okay? But when we do serve spirit, being a medium or a healer, and to me I think both are the same anyway, because you heal through words, through evidence, through the spirit world there. I'm getting distracted with me on that big screen there. But what I will say is when you do heal through words with spirit, it is a case that you are just the interpreter, you are just the middleman, like I explained yesterday in my course. There's nothing special about being a medium. All it is willing to stand and willing to speak and be that middleman for spirit, okay? And once you get that into your mind, or once you get that into your way of thinking, you do notice that a lot of miracles do happen, okay? I spent the first 18, 19 years of my life running away from miracles, okay? And the reason I'm going to speak about miracles is because my life has been a series of unfortunate events that are now called miracles, okay? And that's the way we should look at life, because when I was born into this world, I was born premature. I was born 2 months premature, and they thought they were going to lose me into the spirit side. And by the grace of spirit, or whoever, or the doctors, I was obviously saved, and I was obviously brought in this world, and that was fine. So they thought, phew, thank goodness that's over and done with. Needless to say, 2 months later, I was back in the hospital. My lungs collapsed, and I couldn't breathe. So again, they lost me for a little while. I was brought back, I was fine, and they thought, phew, thank goodness that happened, and that's over and done with. Needless to say, 2 years later, I decided to open a car door as it was going down the highway, and I decided to tumble out, 2-year-old, and bang, right again, onto the tarmac, and cut all my face open and stuff. But needless to say, I'm still here. So another miracle in its little equation there of life. Okay, and for years when I did get sunburn, I did always have this white spot right in my face here, right at the top. But anyway, lo and behold, that was fine enough. Then my sister decided to set fire to the house. Lo and behold, I was saved, I was fine. Another miracle that was still here, okay? What I'm trying to get at is certainly there is a reason why I do feel we're here on this airplane. And like Lewis said within his meditation there, find that journey, find that pathway, and stick with that pathway. Because I had many events like this through life. And the next one was going up to about 8-year-old. I remember falling, I don't know if you've heard of William Wallace, but there is a monument in Stirling. And some little fella was climbing up the hill next to it. Me thinking I'm going to help this fella, tried to kind of grab this little boy, and I fell all the way down the hill. Again, by the grace of the Spirit or whoever, I was here. Again, another miracle, okay? You're probably thinking this lodge is full of miracles. We all have miracles, okay? But there's 4 miracles that I can see that's happened here this morning already, okay? The first miracle being that you actually got up and you're here for another day on this earth, okay? So there's one miracle. The second miracle is the fella who obviously in Colby, who had the vision from Spirit, or his Spirit guide came forward and gave him that knownness to set this community up. There's a miracle within itself. So there's the second miracle. The third miracle is you can understand what I'm saying, okay? So there's a third miracle. And the fourth miracle being that certainly we all come together and Spirit do communicate back to us, okay? Spirit do come forward and give us the messages of hope and upliftment. So again, that's another miracle that you can think of. And you just have to go through life looking at things as like there are miracles, because if you do, life becomes more abundant, and you do notice that there is miracles everywhere, okay? Also, I want to say, going through my teens, I had many other miracles, okay? I don't have to go into every single one, but definitely one that comes to my mind quite a lot there at the moment here is I did go into a swimming pool when I was about 12, decided I was the best swimmer ever. I dived into this pool down in England, and I drowned. I went straight to the bottom. And I do remember what happened, because I was down the bottom there, and I started to float, almost like I was aware of my own consciousness, my own body. And it only lasted for about 2-3 seconds. But I remember thinking, why am I down here? And I'm just looking at myself from above. But then some girl jumped into the pool, she brought me back up. And again I thought, well, there's another miracle, okay? Another miracle was here to share that life. And through these little miracles, I was always aware of the Spirit. But like I said before, it wasn't miracles back then. I actually feared talking to the Spirit. It was a case where I seen them, but no one ever interacted with me. So I just seen the Spirit, and I just kind of try and run away from it, because it was something I didn't want. It didn't resonate with my consciousness being a child. I wanted to go to a swing park, or I wanted to go and kind of do things like kind of normal kids. You didn't want to see spirit beings or looking at your friends and you see people walking about them. You do things a bit woo-woo when you're a bit younger, okay? So what happens is, when you run away from your own pathway, when you run away from your own experiences, this is where I do feel sometimes we get ourselves into little bits of trouble and a little bits of doubt, and we do fight against the grain rather than working with the grain, okay? And it's only when you accept that kind of responsibility to what you do see, as I said before, life does become a little bit miraculous as well. Another thing happened here. I remember as I started to speak to the Spirit, this young fella walked towards me. I was about 19-year-old, and he basically came too close to me, and I looked at him, and he was standing here staring at my face, and I was like, what do you want? And he smiled. And as soon as he smiled, I just got that impression that, you know what, they're not causing any harm. So I didn't know how to communicate with him, but I accepted that Spirit were there to work with me. But it took 19 years for me to accept that, okay? So, like we all do, you think you have to go and find spiritual enlightenment as soon as you get a spirit connection. So, my sister and I decided we'd go over to Nevada, up in America. I was going to say over in America, but we're in America. And up in Nevada, up to the, we went up to the Grand Canyon. And what happened was, not the Grand Canyon, it was the Grand Canyon, yeah, it was the Grand Canyon. And what happened was, we went up there. Anyway, they were having a heat wave over there. So when I went there, me being fair-skinned and ginger, I didn't realise that you have to be well protected. So I sat out there for only about 20 minutes. Well, 20 minutes later, I was in my bed, back in the hotel, and I was there for 2 weeks. I couldn't move. I had heat stroke. Being 19-year-old, nobody decided to go in an ambulance to the doctor. There was an arm miracle that's still here, okay? And again, I remember recovering. And just before the second week ended, we did go over to the Grand Canyon, and I thought, you know, I'm going to meditate here. I'm going to meditate here. I got rid of the heat stroke for a while. I meditated for a while. Thought, I'm going to get this spiritual enlightenment as I sit here. Well, all that happened was I got the heat stroke back, didn't I? So I went back to the hotel again, another few days sitting there within that hotel in the heat stroke. Now again, I look at these events as miracles, and that's what I do in life now. Every time something happens there, whether it be a good or a bad experience, always look for the little miracle there, because there is a miracle within everything that happens. There definitely is, okay? There definitely is. And I know it's a bit scary at the moment, because everybody's going on about this coronavirus, aren't they? They're definitely going on about it. And it is a scary concept, because I didn't think I'd be here, or hopefully I do get back home, if they don't close the borders, definitely. But the miracle within that will be that they'll find not a cure, but they'll find a kind of way of treating it, where a medical cure or a treatment where they will help people. So there's a miracle there just waiting to happen, and that's what we have to do. Like, just look for the miracles, like I said here as well. What I will say is, when I journey with Spirit, it is a case where we do as a medium try our hardest to give as much evidence and proof from the spirit world as we can. Yeah. But every time I do a demonstration on mediumship, I do look at it as a miracle's happened, okay? Because isn't it miraculous, isn't it wonderful that the spirit world can come forward and give us that upliftment and that love? And that's what we do as mediums or healers. We do sit there in that space and allow them to communicate. So I'm hoping miracles do happen today. I hope they do come forward and give you that communication, okay? Because we can't predict anything, of course not, but certainly, hopefully, they do as well. When I did accept that young fella, when he came forward to speak to me. I did decide there and then that I wouldn't fight against the grain, like Lewis said, find your journey. And that's when I thought, you know what, if I can see you fellas like they were coming forward, I'll work with you then. I said, but the only thing I will say in return is give me peace, okay? So in your own space, I had my own freedom to live my own life, but certainly I made that little pact, and it's a pact I've stuck with for the last 20 years, and that's what's brought me here today, okay? As I said, I've been all over the world, and it just works the same. Humans are humans, okay? It doesn't matter what colour, what creed, what thoughts, what kind of nationality you are, and boundaries and borders just disappear. You are just a soul on this planet Earth, okay? And we are all brothers and sisters within that. But certainly when spirit do come forward, the only thing that changes, like I said right at the beginning here, is your accent, okay? But when they come forward, they do give you that evidence and that love that life is continuous. So do definitely over the next week, maybe try it. Maybe just look at life as a series of miracles, okay? And I guarantee you by the end of next week, by about Sunday next week, you will notice yourself that life just looks a little bit more interesting, okay? And that way you will, and it's almost like I'm going to say here, like attracts like. So when you're looking for the miracles, more miracles appear, okay? Hopefully you don't have to experience the miracles like I've done, okay? Where I had more lives than a cat, not at all. But certainly look for the miracles, and I'm sure that they will come forward there. The next thing I did want to say here, a miracle that happened to me as well, is I had an unfortunate event with my grandmother. And this is when I started being aware of the spirit, okay? She unfortunately passed over, but I didn't know she passed over. And it wasn't a case that I got this spiritual experience that she just came forward and went, "Cheerio, son, that's me away." Not at all. What happened was, I remember I was just lying on my bed, and all of a sudden, and it's going to sound a bit woo-woo, but this did happen, all of a sudden, I was looking at myself from above again, looking at my body, and I was up in the clouds, I was up in the sky, and as I journeyed, it felt as if I was going almost like a 1,000 miles an hour, kind of over the horizon. But it only lasted maybe about 5 seconds. And I always remember her saying, "That's me away, son." But unfortunately, it didn't just happen as I was sitting there within my own space. I was up there levitating, doing something. And this is what happens in my life. I just accept it and I go, okay then, that's happened. And it's just experiences. The reason I'm telling you about these experiences is because, friends, those who are on the spiritual pathway will all have weird and wonderful experiences. But unfortunately, I did, and I have noticed through the years, that a lot of people shy away and telling the experience they have because they think it's a wee bit out there. Well, communicating with spirits a wee bit out there anyway in some people's eyes. So if you have an experience to share it with people, because definitely it does draw and it does engage other people's awareness. But some people may not get the comfort from the words of spirit, they may get the comfort and enjoyment from your experiences that you've had with spirit, okay? So always share the experiences that you do have, because sometimes they are, like I said, more they mean more people rather than sometimes even the message. But anyway, when I was up there, I always remember the reason I came back, and I was only, like I said, up there for a few moments. But I remember looking down, and I thought, where's my arm? And as soon as I thought that, straight back in my physical body. And I was like, all these enlightening experiences, or all these beautiful experiences, all I could think of it was, where's my arm? So this was it. But that just brings the realist back into any experience, doesn't it? And that's all it is, though. But that's how I look at life, I think you do. And then again, when I came back and all the rest of it, I just went, oh, there's another miracle. There's another miracle, okay? So I think I'm going to get a tattooed on my arm one day. There's a miracle, okay? And that way I can never, every time something happens, I'll just look down and go, there's a miracle. But like I said, let's hope a miracle happens and spirit do come forward. But you know what? Where there's people, there is loved ones. And where there's loved ones, there's communication, okay? So I'm sure that they do and they will come forward there and give you that communication. What I will say just before I leave it there is when I do work with spirit, like I said, if I do start to speak a little bit too quick, just look at me blankly like you're doing just now, okay? And I maybe slow down. I say maybe because I can't predict, but I'll try, okay? And that's it as well. The other thing, as I said, when spirit do come forward there, yes, it's a blessing, yes, it's an upliftment, but always remember that that's us going back home when we do make that transition back to the spirit realm, okay? So this is where you should look at life sometimes there. Look at the miracle that you've got life, like I said there right at the beginning, that you're here today. And that's what I mean, is you've got another chance, another day to experience this world, okay? Because we've all got loved ones and friends and family who have made the transition back home to the spirit world, okay? What we have to do is just realise that that's home. This is your wee holiday, or your wee vacation, as you want to call it, okay? So that's how you look at life. And that way, when things do happen, and you hear about loved ones going back, it's them that's going back home. You're still on that vacation, okay? And that's the way we should sometimes look at life. And that way it makes more sense, and that's the reality of life anyway. Well, if it's not the reality, I've been seeing a lot of strange things over the last many years, okay? But it is the reality of life there, that we are just visitors here and a temporary experience, okay? But we're here to bring some of that, like I said, that light and that love into this world. But it doesn't have to be, like I said, through messages. It can be through the healing, or it can be sharing experiences. And I'm noticing a lot of people here nod their heads, so it looks to me a lot of people have had experiences here, maybe not just shared them for the fear of people thinking you're a wee bit doo-doo, but definitely share them, because it does resonate with a lot of people. That's correct, isn't it? Definitely. What I will say, like I said to you, Spirit are always around us, and it's just a miracle, and I want to say thank you for listening, and